What's up, everybody? All-22. We're back here to watch some more of this game from the playoffs. You can see Texans get beat there on a play. We're going to watch some of the coverages. I'll put the coverages what I think they are up in the right-hand corner so you can see. This was a cover three, and just really the corner got beat. The one thing that's a little bit different, I'll let the film run so you guys can get a chance to watch some of this NFL cut up all-22. Texans, they're going to run their cover threes, and there are times where the corners and the safeties can really man up on individual receivers. Okay, so even though we're playing cover three, we're actually taking some of the principles of the seam, cover three seam, and we're actually matching some of the guys on the outside, allowing the inside guys to still drop with their regular cover three zone drops. Okay, so that's something a little bit different that they do. So, like here, we're going to get here on this play. Um, just a classic combination from the offense. Just they're going to run. I think he runs out of there, and you're going to get just an out route. You're going to get somebody's going to run a dig, and you're going to get that underneath shallow type of deal right here. So offense is going to read this really leverage wise. If there's nobody out here free access, they're looking outside and they work their high low in the middle. If this is regular cover three, your throw flat defender who's dropping down here, this is the safety, he would get width on this. That would take away the first read, and then the QB would work back to the inside part of that inside triangle. But the deal is, watch the safety and how he doesn't get width. Even though you see the rest of the underneath guys drop into coverage, he actually looks like he's playing man to man on number two. And if you watch at the beginning of this play, the corner and the safety are talking. Watch them right here. Right? They're talking to each other. It looks like he's giving him what we call like a read call or book call. That's what the safety did to the corner. Usually that means that, hey, we're going to play man to man, some sort of man to man match or in and out on 1 and 2. Okay. So that's something that you could do, especially when you get formations that are really tight, stacks and bunches, things like that. You can pretty much man up some of that stuff to try to help you with, taking away some of those routes. So that's something that they do a little bit. How would you really work that in Madden? Or if you get like a stack formation, two guys are close, and you have a nickel and a corner out there in cover three, instead of letting them just play regular cover three, you can actually just man them up and just play cover one within your cover three. So that's something just to kind of think about. Here, this is just a regular boot play out of 13 personnel. They're playing cover three here. You would hope that the safety would take that over route. So just so you guys know, most of the times, most cover three defenses allow you to do this, that as soon as there's an over coming out of this look, this boot, right? Quarterback rolls out. Usually now you could take your safety and say, hey, we're going to, what we called radar, or sometimes we call this different things. We just take that guy, and this guy replaces the post so that if you do get double move route, you can have a guy back there in the middle of the field. So they don't get this done. You can see the corner kind of points to him and says, hey, get over, and, come down and take him. But, the safety didn't do a good job, and he got beat. You can't expect your backers to get out of there. Now, you do want your backers to kind of robot and get back into this window if they can. This backer, but it's just a lot to ask when you're going up against a good run team. So just kind of looking at the coverages, looks like that was cover three. So I'm going to put, cover three up there, but they do have some man matching principles to it. This is a wildcat play. A lot of times when teams play wildcat or, get into like a wildcat type of formation with the running back there to catch the ball and run, you usually play quarters coverage. That's usually the check. All right, we got 12 personnel. This one is man to man, cover one. A little bit of a confusion of who has the tight end. This is just a play where it's a man to man play. Let's take a look at it real quick. So as soon as that guy comes in the backfield, okay, the safety who had the tight end right here, he just locks on to him. Now, unfortunately, the linebacker that had this tight end originally got involved. So this backer had him man to man. As soon as he went back into this tight end here, went back into the backfield, he wanted to back off the ball and play a 22, which is just playing basically, we're working in and out versus those two guys, those two linebackers, and these two guys. But watch the safety here. He says, "No, don't worry about it. Like just stay on your guy. I'll play a 22 with the linebacker in the box." So again, 22 is just basically working man to man. Whoever goes out to the left, the safety would take him. If they both go that way, the other linebacker would come running over. So the safety actually did stay on his guy and made the tackle. But you can see the linebacker who originally had the tight end got caught up in the wash and didn't cover the tight end who was wide open. So Flacco didn't see it. He just kind of threw the ball because I think he felt like he had a touchdown anyway. He out leveraged the safety. Safety made a nice tackle. All right. So that was man to man, just cover one, red one. We call red means red zone version of cover one. All right, so they just ran goal line play, just got him on that one. So let's go to the next series and let's take a look at how what they're doing on defense. Okay, we're back. All right, so we get like a stack formation over here. It's not a true bunch. Okay, so we don't have any bunch rules really, but it looks like they're playing single high. You can see this. Looks like regular cover three is sky. All right, I'll put that in there from the Madden standpoint. Cover three sky. And this is just a little wrap route that works like a little high low. Some runs like a little number one runs a little dig or a little kind of like a short post, and number two sits down out there. So it just works over the top of that hook defender, backside hook defender. Almost got there. It's a good concept versus cover three. Get a little two by two action, little run, quarters coverage. Looks like just regular quarters, nothing crazy here. A lot of times you will get palms at the bottom of the screen to allow this nickel to play harder in his run gap. Okay. And I think that's who we're getting here because you can see the safety get out. So they're playing palms up there. Over here, it looks like they're playing just regular quarters. But look at the bottom. Just watch the bottom. I think we're going to get a good example of kind of that was about to be palms, right? You see how you see how if this guy bubbled out like he did, this nickel doesn't have to really honor it so much because the corner is coming down. This is where Madden, if they put this in Madden, this would be lovely. All right. The bad thing about playing quarters coverage is versus these type of tight formations is that your safety over here is not going to get a good run fit quick enough. And a lot of times he's going to get blocked by a cracking receiver, and then the corner has to get up in there. So you can kind of slowly, kind of like eat away at quarters coverage if you come out in compression sets and you run. This is a power play. Right? One back power out of gun. We can talk about the run fits later. I won't go through that. This is more of a coverage based film. Good job by the backside line, but actually, poor job. Just the right tackle fell down. If the right tackle doesn't fall down on this double team block up to the backside backer, it's quite a bit of bigger play. So that allowed the backside backer to come free. Tackle just tripped over something, over turf monster or something. All right, they're giving us a single high shell, but they rotate to another version. They ran it again. They ran the same play. You can see how definitely they're playing palms coverage at the bottom. Watch the corner. Watch the nickel. See how he moves in, right? So he could be part of the run fit, and then watch the corner, right? He gets width. So they're anticipating that if that was a bubble, that's how we're playing it. The safety played it pretty quick, but he had good eyes. He saw the ball was handed off. And then they try to make it look like cover one, but they're actually playing quarters up here. So they ran the ball again. What kind of play is this? This inside zone, split inside zone. Tight end comes back, tries to block the edge. Looks like this is 31 or 40. This is trying to get a little QB sneak in there. Let's skip over that. Gotta love all these motions, right? Yeah, and this play is a really hard play to evaluate. I think it's some sort of blitz. from the safety. So it's probably covered. It's probably a zone blitz cover three, or if it's not, it's some sort of invert defense. And the safety just reads that this is a trick play, right? He sees all the BS and he just kind of smartly goes out there and covers this guy. So it's kind of hard to evaluate what's going on there. Good job by number 5. See it better from the end zone. It's hard to tell exactly if this was going to be a zone blitz or not, or safety single blitz, but he just smartly kind of notices, smells some BS, and goes and covers the player. Good job. All right, next play here, 2x2 in the red zone, so things get a little bit tight down there. Oh yeah, this is the touchdown play. So this is quarters again. It looks like they're playing palms on both sides, but you're putting your middle linebacker in a bind here. This is really tough job by him. He has to be able to read the screen. You know, a lot of times it's hard to tell. I think there was a clue that I used to know, forgot exactly what it was. Jeez. It was like basically when you see this guy being an actor, like the tailback, you just see him kind of like sitting there and just like pretending like he's gonna block, like he just puts his hands up early, he does something funky. He just looks like he's doing something fraudulent. Just you think you got to think screen, or you got to think shuffle pass, something, right? Screen draw, something. You know, he just doesn't look natural. He's not like really about to take anybody on. That's the only clue. But from a design standpoint, you're asking a lot for your middle linebacker to sit there and have to beat this block from the center, because on this play with this quarters coverage, your quarter flat defenders are gone. All right, they're spread out 2x2. They're not even really 48's still there, but he has to get into that window to play his quote unquote palms quarter flat coverage. Okay, so this player here is the only one that could potentially help out, right? Technically, he's still part of the run game, even though the line is this way. It doesn't matter. Technically, he has A gap, he has B gap. Okay, we're playing palms out here so that we can get him not really worrying about having to cover a bubble by the tight end. So he's the only guy that can help out, but he is going to get some width. He probably gets caught up with a little bit of that fake himself, and I think he's the only one that actually comes back in and tries to make a tackle on this play. Right. All right, let's come. Let's go with the next series. See what we got. All right. Okay, so it's definitely in the quarters family. What I think happened here was that this is a 3-by-1 formation, actually 2-by-2 formation. Sorry. And when this guy starts to motion, I think the nickel thinks, oh wow, he might come over and it might become some sort of 3-by-1 formation, right? So what happens is if this was covered 6, technically this would have been the half field side, and this would have been the quarter side. Okay. But obviously, with the nickel, when the change of strength with the slot receiver coming over, it would flip the defense. It would turn this into the quarter side, and that would be the half field side. Okay, so it looks like I think that's what they kind of anticipated, and it kind of got stuck that way where this became your half field. He kind of soft squatted it, and then over here became your quarters. Okay, um, against this look right here, some people would consider that a bunch like formation, so you would want to play box to this, but let's just see it work it out. It ends up being a good play, I think, for the defense, but we just kind of see the mechanics of how it happens here. You see all the players checking safeties. See how important he was. Like, see how number 30 was like, hey, I think this corner game, like, I got you. So, yep. Basically, you're playing half field over here, but he's playing it real soft squat. You can tell half field because look at the safety getting all that depth, and his hips are opening to try to get towards the numbers. And then on this side, what happens is they end up playing against this sail route combination. This is something I used to talk about in my older films on Madden, is that when you get two guys in quarters coverage, right, there's a decision that has to be made here. When you get 1 and 2, I don't think they consider this like a bunch. If they did, it's fine. But same rule where 1 and 2 are close, there's a good chance there's going to be a scissors combination or a sail combination where they're going to try to flood the zones. They're going to try to switch the zones down the field. So from a defensive standpoint, you just say, hey, my safeties and my corner, we're just going to stay in our zone. It's almost like playing true zone. Just stay there in your quarters. Don't play it like man to man. If Madden World, that would be like turning match off to that side of the field, so that when they do this, we can just kind of we can work together. So when he ran out, the corner kind of did a nice job of kind of almost baiting it and came back on the corner route. An interesting way I like how he teaches their DBs is it kind of really kind of bait this. Watch them both like turn their hips and kind of like shuffle in space, right? You see both of them with their hips turned, and that allows them. That really kind of doesn't. The quarterback has no idea that one of these guys is going to come off. All right, so nice job by them. I kind of like that. I think I want to teach that if I get the opportunity to get those guys shuffling, open hip, turn, run almost, and then just come downhill. It's an easier break than sometimes coming out of your back pedal when you're in a side run. It's actually easier to control your body. He really did just throw that up. Like, what kind of play action is that? That's really weird. That's where the ball took so long to get there. If it was a normal drop back, he probably could have gunned it in there. Anyway, so that's some sort of quarters. Okay, so this right here looks like quarters again, or it could be cover six. But really, again, this is something I think guys should know. The great thing about cover six is that cover six in the NFL is not always just half field quarters. You can kind of clamp or choke this out. Again, I'm using my finger here. Sorry about the writing. So you can turn this into like two man, especially when it's 3-by-1. That's what this is. So it looks like he's just going to play aggressive man to man. He's just going to play over the top. All right, which in the Madden world you can probably do too. You can just check. You can take your quarters and put it into man to man. Just make sure that your quarter flat defender over here is going to man up number two as well. Okay, so that's important. Over here, we're playing a really deep quarters. I'm not sure why this guy back here is so deep, but sometimes in the skies, people try to make it look like it's half field, but you can definitely tell that's regular quarters. They try to run. I don't know what this really bad route combination looks like right here. I don't know what this is supposed to be over here, but the quarter flat defender got hands on two, works out to the flat. This hook defender, three receiver hook defender, works towards the three receiver side, sits in the window, pretty much becomes like a hook curl player. All right. Oops. And that's it. So good job with the coverage in the back end. Everybody's doing their job. And I think he throws the ball to the flat. And the quarter flat defender gets himself, I think, a tackle for a loss. Nice job. Is that how it works? I just thought about that. Do you get TFL counted for you when it's a pass play and the ball's thrown behind the line of scrimmage? Like a run play? I never thought about that. So now I don't know why. All right, this is 3-by-1 with that tight, it's actually 3-by-1 nub formation. So let's see what they do here. Oh, okay, they're playing like this is definitely a third down defense. I think in Madden we have this defense where the middle linebacker runs back to the middle third. So they're playing like a double buzz here. Three double buzz. Great thing about doing this, I think they're actually using a safety to do that. So I'm not sure what their personnel is right now. I think they have linebacker. I think they brought an extra safety in to play. I think they're literally playing like dime with three safeties, if I'm not mistaken. So the safety goes back and plays the middle third. You got outside third. Actually, let me draw it on the screen. Middle third, here, here, here. And then these two safeties are going to sit here pretty much kind of like at the sticks. And then you get your buzz players out here going to the front flat. So it's really nice vision when you play against this. And honestly, versus this type of formation where you're probably going to get, right, the good old classic vertical routes, stuff like that. It's a lot better to cover it when you have the safeties coming down. So let me see. It looks like the thing about Cleveland's offense, it just looks really slow. I don't know if it's just the quarterback, but it doesn't look. This is a third and long play. There's not much you can do. They ran dagger with the over. So this is just dagger and Madden. You guys have seen it. They kind of almost got him with the 7 route here. Look how he kind of turns and runs the open space. That's interesting. But I think the pass coverage was too good. This is the wide front. I haven't talked about the front at all. They're gonna play some games, I'm sure. Looks like the outside guy just beat that tackle. Woo-hoo. Nice little arm under right there. Little swim. That swim, a little rip move. Good job. All right, so they went back to the compression sets. I think that's probably the best thing they should have done. It's really good versus quarters coverage when it comes to the run game because you have wide open holes that could be created, especially when you have all that motion stuff. So again, it's hard to tell what the coverage is on run play sometimes, but it looks like some sort of split safety. The way the safeties are getting a lot of width, almost looks like they were playing cover two. From what I understand, the reason why I do it also in Madden, they don't really play a ton of cover two Texans, Demeco, but they will use it in passing situations. So yeah, it's a good run. Got some positive yards. Oh, they went back to spread. This hasn't been working for them. 3-by-1, stick combination. So they run stick at the top. And it looks like we're playing. I want to call it cover two, but it almost looks like palms again. But the thing about this is that, yeah, it looks like cover. It looks like cover two. That's just cover two up top. Safety's not getting a lot of depth. I'm not sure if they're playing in a different version of palms, but your quarter flat defender obviously feels really comfortable to jump number three because he knows he has a corner outside of him that can help him out. So it's interesting. Anyway, at the bottom, we're getting cover two for sure. So third, is that third down? I think it was third down. Like I said, Demeco does run cover two on third down, but usually it's third and long. So they check to that play too. So potential check. Could have been a double play call depending on what it looked like, what the defense looked like. They pretty much gave away their shell. Okay, this is interesting here. Okay, so we got quarters coverage again. We got quarters coverage, right? Over here we have a box. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna play some version of box over here. Now they've been playing zone it box where these guys are not gonna match up on guys deep down the field. They're pretty much gonna play zone. Over here, again, we could be playing any version of cover two. We could be playing two man. We could be playing quarters with a Meg corner. And that's what it looks like. The way the safety's so aggressive here, he comes running back here. Looks like he's playing his quarters right from here, which you can tell your safety to go help out on number three. You could tell him to look for the running back. You could tell him to do whatever. He's almost a free player in this in 3-by-1. If you have a box, when you have a box call, okay. You don't have to really get your safety over to really come. He doesn't have to come to the three receiver side. So you can just see here quickly how these two corners back here, the safety in the corner, they get depth. They pretty much, they're pretty much going to take away this route. The safety that I told you who can help out wherever he needs to. The quarterback is sprinting out. So that's part of the reason why, or he's rolling out, whatever he's doing. So I can see why he's coming to think, hey, let me take care of the over route to help out. So that might have been a game plan thing. When you go up against any type of the wide zone offense, you get a lot of crossing routes and deep double move routes. So, yeah, anyway, that's what this is, guys. This is quarters coverage. You can see that the Meg corner at the top takes away the receiver, runs with him, right? And you can see the quarter flat defender over here. He has to take the wheel. He's by himself. I'm just confirming that this is definitely quarters. Our quarter flat defender doesn't have any work. He's the one that kind of tries to helicopter the quarterback. That's it. Three receiver hook player. The weird thing is that who's he looking at? Oh, because of the motion. Okay, good. So he was the inside part of the box over here, but with the motion, now he has to be three receiver hook. He has to watch the running back. So that's how that ended up happening. So lovely, lovely, good job by the defense. Covered everything up. Up front, we must have got pressure. That's what must have made the quarterback get out of there. Good job of it. Oh, that's definitely why he probably came back and played quarters coverage. I apologize. He came down to 2 by 2, and he kind of, with this guy coming back, it basically became a 2 by 2 formation. So your safety's working 2 to 1 for this play. Okay, so he ran the wheel, freed up the safety to go help out on the deep route. That's funny. I don't think there was a flag. All right, so we get here 2 by 2 formation. Then Madden, this is like that new Z close formation, like normal Z close, normal to this side, Z close over here. Wow, I don't remember this play in the game. That's an interesting route. It's kind of like a post corner. Yeah, it is post corner out. That would definitely beat the coverage. Right now, they're actually in a zone blitz. They're bringing in nickel, so we got zone blitz 3. Nickel coming off the strong side. So it's just a one-man individual route. That would have been interesting versus quarters as well, but good job there. 3 by 1, kind of a bunch-like formation. Another pressure look. That's something that Demeco does more, I think, than other people. But I guess, Swartz does it too. Think about it. It's bringing that nickel. So this is something that Swartz and Demeco both do. A lot of nickel pressures. That's kind of the change up. And this is 3rd and long. A 3rd and kind of, what is it, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Kind of the good thing about this too, it allows your safety to come down and play from depth. Okay. This is kind of a loose bunch formation, so he's probably just going to play in this kind of curl area where he's going to play over the top. If you really wanted to get froggy with it, we could match up man to man and say, hey, I'll take number 1, you take number 2, you take him like kind of like number 3. You can get away with that. We definitely are doing it down here. We're megging the backside. That's where they try to throw the ball. So good job there of playing man to man coverage. It's 3rd and 9, but we felt like we could play man on this guy out here, so that was good. Is that the tight end again? I can't tell you. I think that's Njoku that we put out there. So that's actually a 3 by 1, like a Trey Y flex formation. They need some more receivers, man. All right, this is a tough one to kind of evaluate. I think it's cover 2. And this is a really tough play for the nickel, right? The reason why it's definitely not cover 4 is that with this motion, the nickel would have ran out there and had to get width to cover that wheel, or at least to run with it in the beginning. But the reason he sits inside is because he's actually just a 2 vert player, and they ran the curl right behind him. It's a tough one with the wheel, with the flat. That's a tough play. But you can tell from the safety's depth. Look how wide they're getting. That's definitely cover 2. This might be a 2-minute series situation right here. I think it is. This is right before the half. All right, so now we're getting cover 9. Now the only thing is they could be playing potentially quarters coverage out here, right? But he's just playing with a lot of depth. But most of the time we're playing like a soft squat with a cover 2. Backside is a little bit lower with the safety in the corner. But they could also be playing like a non-match version of their coverages, which is something that ironically Steve Wilkes used to do a little bit too. I'm not sure if he got that from them, but they're almost playing like a soft zone version of cover 9. It's the only way that you can get usually a comeback to work or a throw around to come, a hook route to come back. So that's what it looks like. I think this is definitely a 2-minute drive situation. So the reason why guys aren't matching up on people quickly, it looks like they're playing like a softer 2-minute version of it. Good job at the corner. Look how deep the safeties are. So the good thing about playing that version of cover 9 or cover 6 is that you can also disguise and play cover 3 buzz, which is what this is. I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be, this player here should be buzzing out here. I don't know why he's kind of staying in there tight. He should be getting here. He comes here. But this looks like a cover 3 buzz situation now. Okay. So you kind of mix those two together. They can look similar because if you look at this picture right here, this kind of looks like the same coverage as last time, but you can see how the safety over here is kind of cheating towards the middle. So you can play whatever coverage if you want. That's as long as your D line gets after them. Rotating the D line up, put fresh guys in there. Nice little TE game right there. Or is it the ET? I'm sorry. Whichever letter I say first, the N goes inside that, and the second one comes outside. Good job. Third quarter, they've been kicking their ass. We have adjustments. My favorite quarter to see what people want to do. Okay. I can't tell you if this is cover two, cover four, cover six, but it's definitely some sort of quarters coverage. Really shocked that this player here is like pedaling and staying like I've never seen that before. Usually it's like a crossover run, but that's weird. But he is the flat defender, and that's his spot. He makes the tackle for about a 4 yard gain. I don't know if he needed to get that much width. I'm wondering if he does have almost like a version of turning match off and turning it on, like how you could do in Madden. Because the way the players play, they don't always play hardcore match. Which again, kind of the Niners did that as well. Watching them over the season, they kind of had that same ability too. It looked like, which just so you know, is a real thing. I don't want you guys to think I'm just making stuff up for the tape. I can show you old film of Jim Swartz when I worked with him in Buffalo, where we had calls is actually called for zone or six zone, where we kind of played zone, old school six, old school four, where I want to say old school, no matching, kind of like what you would do in 2 minute, just drop to your spots. Not really used too often because it's not great against underneath routes, but it looks like they were using a little bit of that. They get to a box here, I think. You see these guys, when you see people start motioning and with their hands and stuff like that, usually that's the case. But the funny thing is that they actually get to, okay, so this is a box to start, okay? So we got the outside part of the box, the inside part of the box, the guy first to the flat, okay, and he's the wall, all right? But as soon as they have the back go this way, it becomes a 1-4 split play. So now we're going to push. So he becomes the wall, and usually he can push over to the next zone, or he can just go get the back. One of those two things usually happen. He pushes over to the next zone, then he'll go get the back. Okay. All right. And then on the backside, we could play cover two, we could play cover six, we could play whatever, the combination of different things you can play. So it looks like the push call is just this player here he did that wrong. He didn't push over. Even though he said I know, kind of still dropped out like he was playing a two vert on this side. He should have pushed this way, and that's his play to make. So poor job by the backer over there. He has to go get number two, and he got hurt too. And he has to get the number 85. That's his guy. He's the wall player. So as soon as the back steps that way, boom, push, 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 go get it. He didn't have to wait. That's something you got to work. Got to work that. It doesn't come just like automatic. All right, they get to ace, like is that ace slot or was that two tight ends over there? Yeah, it's two tight ends over there. Again, if you play quarters versus this is the weakness of the defense. They actually do drop the safety down good. I'm thinking this is cover three. And this is why the sky is like people who play this system, you always want to start in that nice little too high look. But honestly, when you have this problem right here, let's look at it from the end zone. You need to get down there and get down the linebacker depth because you have a gap here. Like this safety literally has. Let's look at the gaps real quick. It's become more DB school than anything else. I wanted to look at coverages, but hey, let's just go through everything. So we have an extra player here. All right. So again, the base rule, especially if you're playing some sort of single high safety, is if you're going to bring down that safety, he's going to be probably a C or D gap player at some point, right? So if you want to keep your other corner out of there, he's going to be the B gap player, right? He'll be the A gap player. And the safety's going to have to come down and be the C gap player here, especially if you want to keep your wide nine. So if that safety has to come down and play C gap, he needs to get down the linebacker depth. You can't play it from 12 yards away. All right. So that's just the real basic rule. So this is where don't be late to get down to your assignment. Don't let disguise ruin your ability to do your job. Okay. And that's where he should get down closer. I mean, this tight end was able to start working towards the corner and then come get the most dangerous, get the safety. And so that's the reason why I got so many yards. Look at that huge hole. And the bad thing too about this is if you want to be a wide nine team, you got to teach your safeties to come down here and fit like linebackers. Watch the Browns; they do a much better job than anybody in the league. You can't be passive. That's just way too passive. Number 5. Okay, you can't pea foot around down there, man. You got to get down there and play ball. All right. So you can see some cover 3, certain formations. This one here looks like another quarters call, but you want that safety. This is where he's in a bind. I would understand he has pass coverage, but he needs to get up and then and run a little bit sooner. This is the conversation I always had being pretty much the safeties coach in Denver with me and the linebacker coach. How many times would he always tell me, we need you. We need you down here, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be back there playing coverage. You understand you got a lot to do, but we got to take care of play action with the pass rush too sometimes. So you can't always think it's a pass. As soon as this player comes over, technically that's another gap that just got created. Okay. Now he does run back out of there, so it's not a big deal. But yeah. Anyway, didn't really hurt him too much in that play, but you can see that the Browns are starting to get into more of these compressed formation looks, which I would too. Here goes the play action. A really bad play action. What is this? It's just a little sit route. Okay, like a little read route down here. Versus split field safety, he's going to sit it down. If it was single high safety, he might try to go over the top. But again, we're playing quarters coverage. You can see the safety over here at the top does a nice job. Oop. These guys are taught to open hip, turn and run when guys go deep. You can see they're both in that same position I talked about earlier. A lot of room here. You can't really. It's hard to get this linebacker to get underneath that. All right, so I'm very surprised that we're actually playing. It is a tight formation. Never mind. Tight formation makes you do that. That's the reason why a team like Miami, the Dolphins, they come out in these tight formations, and those windows are so big on throwing like those 10-yard curls, 15-yard curls because of that. Because the defenses are they're playing soft zone versus tight formations, which opens up these huge gaping curl windows for a weak arm tour to be able to get the ball in there. I wish I could put on a Dolphins game right now. But everybody's doing this in the league. I mean, it's pretty popular. A little screenplay, trying to go through that. It's kind of hard to see what's going on. I need to get up a little bit more with all these motions. What is the best way to stop these motions, especially the ones with the jet motions and stuff? Got a nice quarter shell again. All right, so this one here is 3 buzz. It's probably 3rd and long, if I had to tell. But when you see the safety right here, let me pause it. I'll show you. When this safety just sits there and doesn't go anywhere, and obviously he kind of starts cheating over towards the middle a little bit, it's going to be 3 buzz. Okay. And 3 buzz is always good to bring your safety down away from the 2 wide receivers or the 3 wide receivers. Bring it from the opposite side. So if there's a crossing route coming over, he can kind of be sitting in that window. This is old Seattle style defense. And why Madden made 3 buzz always a weak side dropper for the most part. It used to always be 3 buzz used to be a strong side rotation with the safety coming down to the strong hook curl. Now, but in real life, I think they try to make it like real life. You're going to get more of a weak side rotation. All right, let's see. Looks like quarter half or quarter 3. Right? That's why it's hard to tell. Because right now, I looked at this and I'm like, this looks like the quarter side at the top. Looks like cover 2 at the bottom, but nope, it's 3 buzz. And we're doing it from the weak side again. Actually, that would have been cover 9 if I would have looked at it correctly, because it's like is this a true empty set? No, this is like a chipper formation. So last thing, and I'll end it with this because I don't want to overload you guys, man. But I think you guys, if you've been this far, you really love ball, right? So we got 1, 2, right, and then 3. So is this a true bunch? No, if I had bunch checks, I wouldn't use bunch to this. If he's in that like wing position, a lot of times he's there to do what? To chip and go to the flat. Same thing here, chip and go to the flat. So this is like no different how I taught it was that this is like a halfback and this is like another halfback in the backfield. It's like a 2-back set. Okay. And usually when that happens, you're going to get like deep dagger route combinations, right? Something like this, or you might get that, right? Or you might get double dig. So you're going to get these deep, kind of almost like if you were under center I formations, right? Plays, get some chunk plays. So they're gonna play right now 3 buzz weak. So really versus 2x2, we're kind of sitting at the sticks right here. We're getting lots of depth in the drops. The safety's cheating over towards where there were more receivers. This little post is a little scary, but you would think hopefully with the pressure you'd be there. By the way, the chippers did their things, right? They chipped and went out. Yep, went to the flats. So it's kind of sad when a guy still catches the ball on you like that, but that's just a great throw and catch. You would want almost like this backer to kind of get some more depth, but can't be too far because then people are just going to run draws and screens on you also. So yeah, but that's what that was. 3rd and long play. Let's see how the D line did. 2 inside guys bumped into each other. A little bit of a trusted throw by the quarterback, and he got it. So I think the series is going to continue. It is. Let's keep going then. Okay. Ooh, I like this one. This is nice. Interesting. I want to call it cover 1 because we have both backers blitzing, right? We got one backer blitzing. So I want to, they're kind of making it look like this is something that I remember the Niners did a lot of this too. They really want to make it look like with the linebacker and the nickel, like, hey, we're working together. All right. Hey, let's work together. Let's make sure we got this coverage. You good? All right. Nope. I'm blitzing. So now that really makes the O line may think, okay, hey, the guy's not coming. He's talking to the nickel. So let's re-mic this and let's make it, let's put the mic, let's put the protection to slide over here. Look at this guy, right? But whatever it might be. So we're kind of talking, and then he comes here. The only thing is that these 2 guys are responsible for these 2 guys, so they're probably inning and outing this. Okay, I'm thinking that the way he kind of backed up, if he would have worked out, he would have took him, and if he would have kind of stayed here, he would have just stayed down there. But as soon as he went vertical and he started working out, they kind of switched it late. So I'm not sure exactly if that's what they're doing, but it looks like definitely man coverage. Could you potentially say this is like quarters coverage as well? You could, you could say this is some sort of quarters with a blitz, but that's kind of acting a little bit crazy in my opinion. I think this is definitely cover 1. I just find it really interesting how these guys did that. How these 2 guys worked this out really easily. That's why I was kind of thinking this is almost played out like quarters. But you see how the thing about running quarters coverage, running cover 1, running 2 man, as long as you are used to matching people, you can kind of mix the 2 together. Okay. So I'm just going to chalk this up to a cover 1 category. But, you know, somebody could have told me, hey, they're playing almost like bombs coverage here, They're working off a 2 and 3, or they're working a triangle here. But again, with this guy blitzing, I don't think that's the case. But that's what we got. And we have a poor throw with the pressure picked off. Really good job by that corner. Oh, that's what happened. That stupid double move route made the corner, allowed the corner to see the ball being thrown. Because he's pretty much playing Meg, it looks like, a man to man. So when he make that little double move route at the end, he kind of flashes his eyes up right there. But the reason why he was able to do that, and I teach this as well, is that he's on top of the route. So if you're playing man to man and you're on top of the receiver and you can still control him, he kind of gets his hands into him a little bit. But if you're on top of the receiver, you can always play. You can look back. You can look at the quarterback and still see the receiver because you're above him. That makes sense. So that helps a lot. And it's just really good. And maybe somebody yelled ball or something like that. But again, he had the confidence to look up and look for the ball because he was on top of the route. If he was underneath the route and got beat by it, he would have been in trouble. All right. All right. So we're going to end it there, man. I hope you guys enjoyed that last part of this series. Kind of showing you a little bit of that. This is a lot of how I play Madden. I play, in passing situations, some quarters, some six, some cover two. And then, you don't see a lot of blitzing, but when you do, it's single linebacker blitzing. And then when it comes to fronts or we come out of formations that are like run type of formations, run heavy, we're going to go down and play some cover three. So, and some cover ones. All right, man. All right, guys. Hey, join me on the Patreon. I got a lot of good stuff. I'm putting out a video today talking about playing quarters in the red zone, how it can help you against certain formations. Also, some routes that are really tough in Madden that can bug out some of these quarters coverages. And then we'll go from there. All right, guys. What we'll do too is try to start jumping on some Cowboys film of offense and defense, but mainly defense. I want to see what they were doing, which is probably going to be what they're doing in Washington next year now on defense. I want to see this big nickel package work uh, in Madden. Okay, I want to try to get that going. That might be the next defense I want to put together. And also check out the PS5 share I'm going to put up. I'm going to update the book. I updated it, added some nickel triple in there because that's kind of like what people do on third down. Make a video about that later too. Nickel triple is going to be nice part of the package of this wide nine scheme. All right, so there's a lot of new things coming up, man. Just check me out and join the Patreon for more information, more one-on-one information, and free access to talk to me about whatever you need to. All right, later, man. Peace.